morning and welcome to the breakfast show on Faith FM with Skafy and Lindsay. This is the best place to start your day with positive and uplifting thoughts.
You're listening all across Australia on 87.6, 87.8 or 88 depending on where you are, or you can listen to us through our Faith FM app wherever you are in the world.
And today, if you're listening live, it's Wednesday, the 11th day of March, and I am in the studio today with Lindsay and producer Chelsea. Good morning to you, Chels.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
It's good to have you here. Let's start with our word of gratitude. I'm grateful for God's sovereignty today.
Okay.
Yesterday, I was supposed to receive a tradie in my home. You know, he's supposed to check on the roof. I think I'm having some leaks there.
Okay.
So, yeah, nothing great fun. So he got caught up in other appointments, so he came in late. And when he came, it just started to pour on rain.
Oh, okay.
So he couldn't really climb my roof.
Sure.
It's just too dangerous.
Yeah.
And he said, look, I'm just going to go back to my car. I have some phone calls that I need to do. Let's wait a little bit and see if the rain passes. If it passes, I can climb. If it doesn't, we have to reschedule. And said, sure, I'll pray and I'll ask God to stop the rain so you can come look at my roof. And then after the rain, after that, maybe God can continue to pour on the rain. What happened is that 15, 20 minutes later, the man came back and says, look, this rain, it's not looking like it's going to stop. I have to go. Sorry, I cannot be waiting here forever. And said, look, fair enough. Well, let's reschedule. Oh, fine. He dashed off on his car. 5 minutes later, no rain, beautiful sun. And God did not respond my prayer according to how I wanted. But you know what? I actually am very grateful for that. I'm grateful that God is looks beyond my own little, small, sometimes selfish desires. And he has the whole world in his hands. I know that he could if he wanted to. It was not in his plan. And you know what? I'm rejoicing. I'm much better. I'd rather have a sovereign God that does not do exactly what I am asking him to do than to have a God that does everything that I always do, because then that would be pretty scary, because I should not be trusted with being able to control like ultimate power, infinite power. Not only me, Skafy, but I don't think that any person, not even any angel, would be saved. So you know what? Dear God, I'm so grateful that you are sovereign. Amen. That's my gratitude today.
Okay.
What about you, Lindsay Lou?
I am grateful for food bank ministries.
Okay.
So I don't make a lot of money and I'm a student, and I'm very grateful that in the nearby area there are a handful of different food bank ministries that I'm able to access. And just yesterday I grabbed a box of fruit and veggies and some little pastries and some bread and some eggs and things, and it only cost me a very tiny amount of money.
Like
$2.
$2. Wow. And what did you get for $2?
Well, it's like a gold coin donation sort of system. And so, yeah, I got a couple of cartons of eggs, which I go through really quickly. I like my protein, okay?
Okay.
And
no judgment.
I got some yummy little Danish pastries that were sitting there. And I got some fruit. And I got a massive head of cauliflower and
amazing,
like some potatoes. So I made some
this looks like a
potato, cauliflower,
blessing.
and leek soup. It wasn't just potato and leek; it was a bit of cauliflower to bulk it up. And
wow!
So I made a few soups yesterday, and I got lots of raspberries, and I turned
raspberries
that into.
Even they're expensive.
I know.
Not all that for like $2.
Yeah, and you know what? I turned the raspberries into a new recipe I'd never tried before, which is raspberry and chocolate crumble. So.
Okay, well, that is very interesting. Wow, this is really amazing.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
Yes, and we are now going to get a new quiz question. The first one for the day. So, producer Shells, hit us with the strongest hammer you've got.
That was a very brief hammer.
Ask for that.
Okay,
Have you been
guess
practicing your different sound effects while we've been away?
I wasn't going to do it. I thought I won't drive them nuts. But then when he said, hit us with the biggest number, I'm like, well, I have to.
No, you can drive us nuts.
All right.
Fine.
Hit us. Show us your weapons.
Which verse in the Bible is commonly referred to as the Golden Rule?
Like the
You want the reference or
for
you
it?
want the words?
So it asks for what it says.
Okay. All right. Let me try to
So
remember.
which verse, or what does the verse say, I guess we would say, that's referred to as the golden rule? Or let's just say, what is the golden rule in the Bible? Yes.
I know what's the golden rule in outside of the Bible.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what's the
I
golden
think this
rule?
might be the outside of the Bible one.
Yeah, no, that's...
Almost.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the spirit of the law. I'll have a look into yours later. No, yeah, okay.
I'll treat you how I wish I was treated and say, yes, that's okay. No, I didn't just give it away.
No, but Chelsea,
Anywho.
I'll tell you what's the golden. No, I thought that what's the golden rule outside of the Bible.
What's that one?
Okay, outside of the Bible, the golden rule is whoever has the gold rules.
Oh, true. Did you know, random fun fact, did you know if all of the gold that's suspended in the world's oceans were mined, every person would get 2 kilos?
If every gold that is sitting in the bottom of the ocean.
All the tiny gold flakes that are just suspended in the ocean.
Yeah,
If that was all mined, every
there you
person
go.
on the planet would get 2 kilos each.
That's a business idea for you, Lindsay. You can create a little robot
So there's
that
like
just navigates and
16
absorbs.
billion kilos of gold in the ocean.
How are people not mining it?
I don't know.
I think it's there you go. Here's
That's
a business
fun
opportunity
fact with Lindsay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
there you go.
There's actually a lot of diamonds in the world as well. This is why you have to have a cartel
Oh yeah.
about it, and people in the what's the name of the beers company, the Dutch company that has the monopoly pretty much of diamonds in the world.
Yeah, I think they've been marketing diamonds as a thing for engagements, which only would ideally happen once in your life, to make it seem like it's more of a supply and demand issue. But there's so many diamonds sitting there. Like,
Yeah,
it's not
they
funny.
managed to just they mine a lot of diamonds. I think that it was something similar to what the gold thing you said. Like there would be like a massive rock of diamond for every person on Earth.
Yeah.
If all the diamonds that exist will be distributed, but they just keep it in a
Yeah.
big vault and they create that scarcity,
Exactly.
which drives the price up because everybody wants now the shiny stones.
Yeah. So don't buy into it, guys. That's all I have to say.
Okay. I'll say, look, yeah. Actually, did you know that there are synthetic
Yes.
diamonds and like diamonds, like lab made
Yep.
diamonds and
Think
so
you
on?
can make it out of peanut butter
Yeah.
or something.
Peanut butter, I don't know, but definitely, they definitely can be made somehow.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, are we ready? Are you ready? Because we are
I-
going to look into continue the order of blessings, and today we're going to be looking at Naphtali.
Naphtali. What a cool name.
Yeah, I
We
actually have
forgot,
a
did we
friend-
give our text line?
Oh,
we did not give our text line.
So if you'd like to answer the question that we asked
Oh, yeah.
before we got all sidetracked with gold,
Sorry.
you can text us on 0491 064 669. And the question was, what is the golden rule from the Bible? Not from Skafy.
No, not that one.
He
that one
was
is
just
not
trying
biblical.
to win and not have competition and throw you a bone.
Okay, so 0491 064 669. Also, if you were born in March, let us know here. You will get your name into our March birthday draw, and you can choose one of many different gifts. We have Bibles, board games, cookbooks, dinner with a host, or even a voucher. Text us here with your date of birth. If it's in March, and text us to our number 0491 064 669. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 21, Lindsay. So we are looking at the list of blessings / prophecies that Jacob made concerning his sons at his deathbed. And now it's the time for us to look at what Naphtali was.
Man, Naphtali not only has a cool name, but like a cool little prophecy. It says, Naphtali is a deer let loose. He uses beautiful words. The end. That's it. That's all it says about him.
That's it. Yeah.
That's cool. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you?
Nothing wrong. Well, let's talk about Naphtali first. Number
Sure.
one, who was Naphtali? Well, who was he the son of?
Probably one of the servants.
Which one of the servants? Bilhah or Zilpah?
I don't know.
Bilhah.
Okay.
So Bilhah was Rachel's servant,
Okay.
and she gave birth to 2 sons. The first boy was named Dan. The second one is Naphtali. And when Naphtali was born, Rachel said, God has seen my struggles.
Okay.
Against kind of my sister, kind of they're competing to see who would give Jacob the greatest number of sons. And Rachel was kind of declaring some kind of partial victory there.
Even though this was the second, not by her, but by her servant.
Yeah. And she says that God has heard my struggles. He has seen my struggles. So she called that boy Naphtali, which means my struggle.
Okay. My struggle.
Yeah, my struggle. But it is interesting because it says Naphtali is a doe let loose. What does a doe evoke of? Have you seen does? Have you seen deers?
Oh, so yours says
in the life?
doe.
Yeah, what does yours say?
Mine says deer. So a doe is a female deer.
Yeah.
Specifically. Mine just says deer.
Which reminds me that song from...
Doe, a deer, a female.
That's
deer.
right. Doe,
Hey, a drop of
a
gold
deer.
sun.
That's right. That's the one. So yeah, it's a doe let loose, and he gives beautiful words. Let me see here in Hebrew if it's a doe or a deer. It could be both. It
Oh,
could mean
okay.
both, yeah. So what is a deer? Have you seen deers out in the open?
They are beautiful creatures, aren't they?
They are very strong.
They're strong.
And they're very graceful.
They're graceful. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Yep.
So those in the Bible, they have that idea of like beauty, strength, gracefulness, all of these things. And he's like a doe let loose. So he's a bit of a free spirit, free doe. Like, it's actually a very nice thing to be a free doe. You're not constrained to anything. And then it says he gives beautiful words. So he would be into the arts. He would be into the poetry.
Yeah, look, as you were just describing this, I don't know if you know much about personality types, the Myers-Briggs personality types.
Don't know much, no.
But I'm just reading this, I'm like, oh, this is an ISFP, no doubt. Like, they're the most artistic, like, off with fairies type. So.
Yes, that's right. That's Naphtali. He was the artist, I believe, of the family. And it is interesting to see how that ended up playing out throughout the history. There is one very famous Naphthalite. Maybe there's two famous Naphtalites.
Okay.
One is a man named Barak.
Okay.
And Barak was one of the judges. He fought against Sisera and Jabin's army with a lady named Deborah.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And after their victory, he and Deborah, they co-authored a song known as the Song of Deborah.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was just the Song of Deborah. I didn't realize that Barak wrote it as well.
Yeah, I mean, they sang together. So when you look at the Bible, it looks like the authorship is shared between the two, or at least they co-sang the song together.
Man, imagine
It was a duet.
Imagine if people went to war today and they win a war and then they write a duet and then like they have like a Broadway musical together.
Yeah, it is. And this is what it says here. It says that actually in your Bible it says the Song of Deborah. In my Bible it calls it the Song of Deborah and Barak. So Barak is being recognized here because the Bible says this. Then Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, sang on that day, saying, then they sing their song. Would you like for me to sing it to you?
Sing it, please.
I'm not going to sing it, but I'm going to read it.
I mean, I used to really not like the Book of Psalms because I was like, man, there's a lot of emotions going in here. But I forced myself to read through the Book of Psalms by like coming up with tunes to sing to the different songs. Like, I'm like, okay, this is probably an angry song or a happy song, whatever. And I'd come up with angry or happy
Like
kind of
heavy metal
tune. No, I wasn't
stuff.
like, it was just to get through it the first time I read all the way through the Psalms. Now I don't have as much of an issue with it.
Okay. I tried doing that, but then it turns out that all of my tunes are exactly the same.
Can
So
we hear them?
No, but they're not very creative at all. But just that you mentioned that, actually, I must say that one of the most beautiful renditions of Amazing Grace that I have seen is by a heavy metal singer dude online.
No way.
And when you look at the commentary section in his videos, you see there's a lot of like 70, 80-year-old ladies that says, look, I have always listened to classical music my whole life. I never even came close to heavy metal, but young man, this has touched my soul. There's even one of the ladies that says, look, that she was sick, and just after she started singing the song, after she heard the song, she got healed. There's some really crazy testimonies about that song. Not saying that it happens to everyone.
Wow.
But what I am saying, this is this dude, like heavy metal style dude, wearing the regatta, long hair, and he's singing, but he has an amazing, incredible voice. If you would like to check it out, text me here and I'll send you the link.
Okay.
0491 064669 hashtag Amazing Grace, and I'll send you the link. It's really worthwhile listening to it. I have asked producer Shell to play it here on the radio for us. Actually, she did play, I think, once or twice. It is very beautiful.
Alrighty.
What was the title again?
It's not blasphemous or anything like that at all. It's actually very, very beautiful. It's just a different style of singing that we're not used to. Sorry, Shells?
What was the title again?
I would just, if you Google Amazing Grace heavy metal, something like that, you'll find it. Yeah.
Okay.
I do not know if it's in iTunes Music though for you to find. It's probably just on YouTube. Otherwise, I would ask you to play for us, Chelsea. So there you go. Let's read here the song of Deborah and Barak. I think it's an interesting song, and we're not going to come into these dark hidden corners of the Bible anytime soon. So we might as well take the opportunity while we have it. Okay, I'm going to read verse 1. Then Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, sang on that day, saying that the leaders led in Israel, that the people volunteered. Bless the Lord. Hear, O kings. Give ear, O rulers. To the Lord I will sing. I will sing praise to the Lord, the God of Israel. Lord, when you went out from Seir, when you marched from the field of Edom, the earth quaked. The heavens also dripped, even the clouds dripped water. The mountains quaked at the presence of the Lord. These Sinai at the presence of the Lord, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were deserted. So it's kind of a historical song. Mm-hmm. It's reminding, God's delivering Israel from the Egyptians and coming to Mount Sinai, and then some of the previous judges like Shamgar and Jael. Then the peasantry ceased. They ceased in Israel until Deborah, arose, a mother in Israel. New gods were chosen. The war was in the gates. Not a shield or a spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart goes out to the commanders of Israel, the volunteers among the people. Bless the Lord. You who ride on white donkeys, you who sit on rich carpets, and you who travel on the road, sing at the sound of those who divide flocks among the watering places. There shall recount the righteous deeds of the Lord, the righteous deeds for his peasantry in Israel. Then the people of the Lord went down to the gates. And then it kind of keeps going, and she's basically inviting everyone to praise to God, rich people, poor people, people that are traveling. Say, hey, sing with me, because look at how many amazing things God has done. And then she's kind of recounting some of the battles of Israel and what they've done. It's actually a pretty long song. Takes up the whole chapter. Yeah. The whole chapter 5 of the book of Judges. A whole page
for me.
Yeah, but it is a beautiful song if you have the time to look into it and see basically what she's saying here. She's singing all of the victories in battles that the Lord has given to people. Okay. So this is saying with Barak. So the prophecy of Naphtali as a tribe of poets, of people into arts, has fulfilled there. But there is another famous Naphtali in the Bible, and I could only find these two. You know who's the other one?
Who's the other one?
It's a man called Hiram.
Oh.
Hiram, he worked for King Solomon.
Okay.
He was one of the expert craftsmen doing some stuff for the temple.
Okay, yes.
I'm not too sure. I think he was working with gold or wood. Like he was like one of the the
top artists.
The top artists, one of the leading artists. And what I get from all of that is that God really values art.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes when people are really good with their crafts and with their arts, sometimes these people think, I cannot really speak that well, or I can't really lead it. You know what? You have one of the best gifts ever to serve the church. I love when I see people that are good with arts, because say, look, your ministry is already done for you. Mm-hmm. You can use your creative communication to preach the gospel, to bless the church, to bless others. I'm going to give some stories of how I have seen these happening over the years in my life, people that had incredible talents and how they used those talents to bring people to God. Maybe that will give you some ideas, particularly if you are a bit of the creative type, radio friend. This is an absolute gift, a blessing from God. It's like a blessing in itself. And I value that a lot because I'm not the crafty kind of person, not the craft with my hands. I found out that my craft is like words.
Yeah.
I guess that's the closest thing that I could
Fair enough.
come to art. But I'm going to be sharing some stories, and I'm going to be asking from you as well, Lindsay, if you have seen art as a way to share more about Jesus in your life. But before we get there, we actually have an artsy inspiration book for you today, a giveaway. It's called Colors of Inspiration. It is a coloring book with beautiful patterns for you to color and with beautiful quotes, spiritual quotes from the Bible and from other spiritual books. If you would like to get that one, if you are the artsy type, today we're celebrating you and your gifts. Text us here, 0491 064 669, hashtag color. Hashtag color. One more time, what's the number again, Lindsay?
0491 064 669, hashtag color.
Yeah, we're going to send you a Bible-based coloring book. It is absolutely beautiful.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
It is now time for our quiz question. Our first quiz, our quiz answer.
Yeah, we should have an answer.
Yes, we have a quiz answer.
All righty.
And then our second quiz question.
So the golden rule from the Bible, I think, looks like maybe it's in Luke and Matthew, but we had the Matthew reference, Matthew 7:12. Do to others what you would have them do to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was trying to affirm Lindsay with her answer probably being...
She's almost there, yeah. You're almost there. You say, like, treat others how you wanted to be treated.
Yeah, that's basically the same essence.
Very similar, yeah. The
It's
thing
not
is,
word
like,
for word, but
it's do.
Yeah, it's
Do is treating is like how I relate to you, like
Yes.
how I communicate. Do is like practical stuff. So it's just a little bit broader, but I think that you're definitely on the right spot.
Yeah.
And then there is the opposite of that, which is not in the Bible, I don't think, but it's the kind of the corollary or like the natural consequence of that, which is don't do unto others what you don't want to have be done unto you.
Yeah.
I don't think that this particular one is in the Bible. That would be a good Bible or not question, but the opposite is, and both of them are true.
Okay.
And how that works is actually quite interesting. It is you have to put yourself in the place of that person, and then you have to imagine what I would love that someone would do to me.
Okay.
And then you go and you do that for the other person. That's how it works.
Yeah. That's the kindness that we were talking about recently.
Just putting yourself on someone else's shoes.
What do they need and want?
It kind of goes with the Bible verse of esteeming others above ourselves.
Yeah, that's a rough one
Yeah.
for a lot of us.
Oh, it's painful. I know.
What do you mean someone else is more important than me? That's not fair. That can't be
we
it.
are going to be talking on some practical applications on a national level when we talk about some of the news that are coming up from the Iranian soccer team.
Oh, okay.
That
What's the developments there?
asylum. There's a lot of information that is coming up from that one, and I'm telling you, this is going to become a Netflix show, a Netflix movie. It will. It is pretty incredible story.
Well, before the Netflix show comes out, how about we get our next quiz question?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have some time.
Okay, what is the last piece of the armor mentioned in Ephesians 6:10-18? So the armor of God. What is the last piece of the armor that is mentioned in Ephesians 6:10-18? And you guys can text us while these guys are writing and thinking. 0491 064 669. Do you know what the last piece of the armor that is mentioned in Ephesians 6:10-18? Yeah, which one? Oh, you're saying what it means.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I gave both what it is,
And what it does.
like what the armor looks like, and what it's related
Represents,
to
yeah.
spiritually.
Okay. Wow.
No. I should have laughed. But these two, you can see that look like, oh, she got me.
Every time.
There you go. What about this one?
No.
I don't know what's the last one. I never memorized
fair
them in
enough.
the
I
in the
did
order.
just look at this the other day because I am preaching a series on the armor of
So
God
do you have
this
all
year.
of them memorized
No,
in the exact
actually,
order?
I was like freaking out for half a second, and then I was like, I think it ends like this.
Okay, so it's fresh. Yeah, it's
It's
good when it's
fresh
fresh in the memory.
a few
Yeah.
days ago on
I
the
haven't
weekend.
looked into it for in a while. I do know all of the. I think I do at least know all of the different elements, the
yeah.
parts. I just never really paid attention to what comes first, what
Yeah.
comes second.
I don't think it goes in any particular order from like top to bottom or anything like
Yeah,
that.
and I think
or-
that kind of reflects my own life as well. Because when I get dressed, I don't think that I ever follow a particular
Pattern.
I just like, sometimes I start with my pants, sometimes I start with my t-shirt, and it's just,
Do you put your shoes and then your socks on, or
I haven't done that, but sometimes I'll put my socks on before the pants or before, so it's a bit chaotic.
Okay.
I'm not a big routine person. That's why my brain
Yeah.
doesn't really
Hold
pay
on to
attention
those
oh, but this
things.
is the last one. So, but I'm keen to find out. That would be a great little new knowledge for me. Thank you, producer Shells. And let's talk about arts here, Lindsay.
Let's.
Have you seen anyone ever using their artistic talent like Hiram or like Barak to somehow praise God or to proclaim the gospel? Tell us a little bit about that, your experience with that.
I mean, there's probably a lot of examples that are contemporary, modern people that I know. I know some friends who are quite artistic. I've used my art in various forms as well. But the thing that jumps most to mind was during the time of the Reformation, around, I think, probably just prior to the time of Martin Luther, there were some reformers who decided to use art in order to show the difference between the character of Jesus and the character of the church at the time, the established church. And so I think they painted a picture. I don't know if you were planning to go down this road at all to talk about.
Look, I'm not planning to go down any road, but yeah, I'm hearing.
Yeah, so they painted a picture of I think it was a white horse, and sitting on the white horse was the Pope, and he's all in his regalia and his hat, like the pointy hat and everything. And then right next to it, they painted a picture of Jesus, all very humble and simple, riding on a donkey. And that was it. They didn't write anything. They just put them side by side just to juxtapose and show the difference between, I guess, the pridefulness that was coming through in the Catholic Church at the time versus Jesus, like what true Christianity should be like. And that was part of a powerful movement of reform in the Christian church.
Yeah, you say the Catholic Church, just to clarify, there at that time there's only one church. The Catholic just means universal. So
Yes.
I normally say like the medieval church.
Yes, the medieval.
Even though the current Roman Catholic
Yeah.
Church does trace its roots back
To that.
to that.
Quite
at times,
directly.
I'd like
Yes.
to clarify that one. But yeah, I love it because it definitely shows the difference between the pomp of the institution and even
Yeah.
today when I have been to Rome and I have been to St. Peter's Basilica.
Okay.
And it is amazing. It is very beautiful. And they say that the replacement costs you cannot even calculate because it would be impossible. So it's
Yeah.
not even in the billions of dollars. And when you look
priceless.
at all of that pomp, and one can say, look, but don't you think that Jesus God that he is worthy of being honored with all that pomp and glory? And I'll say it's yes, but at the same time, I also think that there is an element that when we have to be careful because sometimes we can get really sidetracked with displays of human grandeur
Yeah.
versus just the pure simplicity of Jesus and the gospel. That was nothing that was commended. And so sometimes when you look at the stark contrast between Jesus as a leader and some of our world leaders in religious areas, like there is a contrast. And I think that needs to be part. So that's a great example. Look, I'm thinking about other things. Look, music, it's a bit of a no-brainer. If you like to sing, if you like to compose songs, like we play that every day here. So music is one. Number two, there is one guy that I met. He was a street artist, kind of like a painter, but he was like a graffiti artist. And that was in Bangkok. And Bangkok, Thailand is a place where the knowledge of Jesus is equal to zero or next to nothing.
Okay.
People there just,
Yeah.
they don't know the gospel. And he found out in a building in a street, like in a small street, not necessarily a highly trafficked street at all, but he drew one of the most beautiful panels I have seen in my life. It's depicting the second coming of Jesus, and it is absolutely beautiful. There is some, like a Bible verse, like maybe John 3:16 or something like that in the Thai language. And it has attracted a lot of people to just look and say, what is that? Because
Yeah.
that picture of Jesus returning never even crossed their minds. And now you have this massive billboard, like, I do not know, maybe 20 meters tall, painted in the side of this building, and people are asking questions. And sometimes they would have people there to say, oh, are you interested? And they would explain what the painting means
Wow.
and would offer them, like, you get a nice conversation starter, would offer to these Thai people, like, hey, would you like to learn more about that? And then they'll give them some, like, a little booklet, a little study or something. This is one very creative way. But I have seen another example that I've seen a little bit closer to home was in a church. I think it was a Baptist church in Lake Macquarie area. And in that, they had an artist there. And this artist, that what they would do is that whenever the pastor was preaching a series about anything, he would be in the front, and while the sermon is being preached, he would be painting a picture that had to do with that sermon.
So there was a pastor preaching, and then there was an artist
Yeah,
painting at the
live.
same time. Awesome. So
At the
good.
stage. He's
Yeah.
preaching with his, brushes, pretty much. And at the end of that preaching, or at the end of that series, the church would have this amazingly beautiful picture depicting some part of the character of Jesus. And then they would hang in the church. And the church ended up having a little gallery
Yeah.
of all these paintings, each one of them symbolizing a moment in the life of that church,
Yeah.
where the whole church was taking on a journey, where they're learning something about the parables of Jesus or the character of God. And that was, I found, like, this was a fascinating
I've seen
use of
that
it.
done before, actually, just one of the churches nearby here. And I remember it was probably about 10 years ago, and I'm a bit distractible, especially like sitting for a long time during a sermon. So it was really good for me to be able to watch somebody painting while the sermon was being preached. It gave me something to focus on and be like, oh, that's really interesting. I wish I was up there doing it myself, but at least watching it is pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I think it's really good for those of us who are a bit more on the ADHD sort of end of the spectrum, like, struggling to sit still and focus. It's really cool to have that. And then to be able to have that visual of what the sermon was about really helps keep the sermon stuck in your mind a lot better for a longer time. So, yeah.
So
That's
there's so
very
many.
Cool. That's a really
I'm
good gift that God has given.
producer Shell's father.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's into whittling. You know
Is
what
he?
whittling is?
It's where you get a piece of wood and then you get a knife and you make it into some sort of shape, object.
Yeah, usually it's like
Like
a
a
small
duck
little
or
piece
something.
of softwood, and you
Yeah.
create something. And producer Shell's father, he creates these little bears.
Oh,
And I asked her, like, what does he do with all these bears that he's creating? And he said, like, he just gives away to people, and he normally to children. It's like, so he has, children in his life or friends. Hey, here you go, little gift for you. It's a little bear. Children love it. They feel loved by God. They, he could insert like a little Bible verse if he wants to, with like a little, or not. But he's using his art to preach the gospel, to say, hey, God loves you.
so good.
Isn't it good? So
Yeah.
there's all kinds of arts, whatever kinds of arts you can think. I actually wanted to invite you, radio friend. Do you like to do any kind of arts, any kind of craft? And that expands so much. I would even say any kind of passion. Use that for the glory of God. My craft, my ministry. We should launch that movement.
Sure.
Look, even if you're not crafty, if you're crafty, look, there's tons that you can do. Even if you're not crafty. For example, I had a lady in my church. She was a physical trainer. And she would say, hey, I'm going to advertise like free workout sessions for the community. Whoever wants to come. And then another lady was good with food, and she said, I can help out with the hospitality. And for a long time, they ran this really successful workout, high intensity ministry in the church. People were coming, they were happy. The church was making new friends in the community. After that, they were eating some healthy, delicious foods. This is what I have seen the church as its best. When people come with whatever is it that God has blessed them with, artistic skills, whatever it is, and they go there and they use that to benefit others. And I think this is absolutely amazing.
That is so cool. That's awesome. I back onto the art thing. There's a guy that I'm in a community of people who do social media ministry. We learn how to be more effective on social media,
really?
how to make
Nice.
reels that go off a bit better and everything. And a few years ago, I came across this community, and one of the guys in the group, he's very artistic. He's not a pastor or anything. He's just a Christian guy who really loves doing art. And he would make videos about the process of doing art while also doing a voiceover, sharing the gospel at the same time. And so that has gotten a lot of traction. And I've seen a lot of these types of things, like when I'm scrolling on Instagram, people are, it's more valuable. You get more views when you are showing the process of painting a picture or drawing a picture or something than just showing the final product.
Oh, yes.
People love watching the process.
Yes.
I love watching the
how
process.
it transforms from a blank canvas into something beautiful.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, particularly these ultra realistic portraits.
Whatever it is, it could be really cartoony. It could be, honestly, some people are like, okay, my ultra realistic or my very classical trained look is not getting as many views. What if I just scribble like a child? And scribbling like a child tends to get more views. Yeah. So anyway, whatever kind of art is out there, if you can only scribble like a child, people will watch that, as it turns out. The data is in. No matter what your skill level is as an artist or as any type of creative, people want to see it, and God has given you that skill and that ability so that you can share the gospel. And you can do a voiceover, or you can put it in the description below, or whatever. Your character as a Christian can shine through as you build an audience, whatever it looks like.
And you can say, but Skafy, do I need to be drawing or doing things with explicit religious themes? Say no. Do whatever you believe God impresses you to do. And sometimes it's not something that is overly religious at all, but something that is going to be a conversation starter. Perhaps you're drawing the face of a person, and then there's a story behind that. And in different ways you're able to, but for the disciple of Jesus, they will find any and every opportunity to share a testimony, share something about the goodness of God, whatever is the art that they are creating. And this is the story of Naphtali. Naphtali, he is like a doe running freely, and he creates beautiful words. Beautiful. That's the blessing of the tribe of Naphtali, and we can be descendants of that.
You're listening to the Breakfast Show podcast on Faith FM. Positively different.
We have been talking about arts. We have been talking about that being the legacy of Naphtali, according to the prophecy of Jacob, and how wonderful that it is to live in a world where we have art, where things can change, where we can see beauty for the sake of beauty and use those things to proclaim Jesus, to share more about hope and the love of God. If you are interested into that, we actually have a very special gift for you today. It's a coloring book. It's called Colors of Inspiration. It's a book with Bible-based quotes and beautiful patterns that you can use to draw and to spend some time to create some beautiful paintings, beautiful drawings. You can, just do it for your own self, or you can give it to other people. You can hang it on your fridge, put it on a wall. There are some amazing patterns that can be colored uniquely by you. If you'd like to receive that coloring book from us as a free gift, what do you have to do, Lindsay Lou?
Yeah. Stop calling me Lindsay Lou. Text into 0491 064 669 #color.
All right.
0491 064 669.
Hashtag caller to 0491 064 669. I'm not going to be calling you Lindsay. Beep. Or
just
if
too
I do,
funny.
perhaps producer Charles can put the beep signal there. All right. So this is it. 0491 064 669. Hashtag caller. Now, producer Charles, can you please give us the answer to the quiz question?
Yes, I can give you that answer.
Wow. Producer Charles just transformed herself into Darth Vader here.
Darth Vader, I'm a robot.
Look, I don't know what she
That's
said,
so
but I can
creepy.
definitely tell that she was having a giggle
I
after
said
that.
I'm not Darth Vader. I'm a robot.
Oh, robot. That's a bit of a scary
That
robot.
was just like, that's nightmarish.
Yes. Hopefully they don't ship the Tesla robots, Optimus, with that voice.
damn.
It would be a disaster.
Yeah.
Producer Charles, okay, what is the answer to the quiz question? What is the last item in the armor of God that I failed to discern?
Yeah, so the last item in the armor of God is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
Okay, there you go.
Alrighty. Very good.
Thank you very much. That is a fantastic quiz question.
We had some correct answers coming through on the chat. Just none from Skafy, that's all.
Yes. Hey, Lindsay, what is your story for today?
My story for today, hey, we're going to continue this theme of art. I'm going to just talk a bit more about street art, but some very special secret street art.
Okay, and I'm going to be talking about art as well, but a very interesting kind of art is escape. I'm going to talk about escape artists.
Escape artists,
Yes.
man. This is a special episode all about art today, guys.
All about art. So stay tuned. Have a great show ahead of us today. Text us here as well. What kind of art are you into? Do you like to do some kinds of art? Do you like to play music? Do you like to sing? Let us know. We want to know what kind of art really strikes your heart, really resonates with you. Text us to 0491 064 669 and let us know here.
Thanks for being a part of the Faith FM family. Join our community on Facebook or get in touch at 1-800-FAITH-FM.